one of my
Are we
favorite
live,
places.
ladies and gentlemen? What's going on?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Nothing's going on.
Knobs over here.
The knob done, yeah.
I can't imagine what any of those knobs do.
What could they do for it? I don't even know. I feel like we're in a DJ booth.
Deep. Are we live? Oh, we're live. How come nothing's going on over here? I'm calling Deep. Deep said to call him.
Oh boy. Poor
Well,
Deep.
what's supposed to go on?
I thought we were supposed to get some numbers here, but we're getting live over here.
Deep's gonna wish he never got involved in this.
This is live.
Good.
This is so 2 SD cards over here. Wow, I can see how old I am. Nobody look at me. Morning, Deep. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you today?
He's living the dream, man. All right, man. I think we're live, and everybody's looking at my bald head as I'm talking to you. On the YouTube studio, it says live and it's counting down, but on my little black box, there's no numbers going. You know how on the top it has 0, 0, 0, 0? I thought that would track time.
Did you kind of is the red light on?
Yeah, the red light on the record is on.
If you want to do maybe unplug it and plug it again.
Yep, that's how you fix everything.
That's it. Thanks.
That's how you fix everything.
I could have done
All
that.
right.
You graduated from MIT, right?
Yeah.
Just unplug it. Unplug it, plug it back in.
Plug it back in. There we go. We plug back in. Let's see.
That should work probably.
Well, I can see things. All right, here we go. Ready, ladies and gentlemen? 1, 2, 3. And
There
we're
we go.
working. Wow, that was it.
Next time we'll unplug everything.
How about that?
Good luck with the show.
Thanks, buddy. Bye bye. So we were live on YouTube, but we're not live on where we can record it. Like we can have our own little file.
We're live streaming on.
We're live streaming, we're on.
That's great.
We're on YouTube live.
Oh,
Live
that's
streaming is
great. That's
Yeah, yeah.
great. Oh, that's
That's it.
great.
There's no editing this.
No. Well, you can put stuff in post if you want to.
Mhm. So what was in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh,
What were you doing? How do you go to
did you
Vegas
speak?
and like not
My-
even tell us?
I was
anything?
there for. I told you.
You said I'm going to
No,
Vegas,
I
but
didn't-
you didn't say
I
why
went
or
to
anything.
Vegas for
He did
36
say-
hours.
For Greece.
You did the same thing in Greece.
Yeah.
You're like mysterious guy.
We're like waiting for you to show up still about an hour and a half into our
Dude, I
conversation.
told
I'm
you
like, I
for
guess he's not
months
fucking
I'm going
coming.
to Greece.
Yeah, but you don't. Like you're like, oh, I'm going to Vegas. Like, what'd you do in Vegas? Like, was it a vacation? Were you stripper?
No. I left Friday morning at 6 o'clock. Got there. Lisa Marie, my COO, picked me up. We went to her husband's office, worked all day, had dinner, went to sleep. Well, I actually went we're in Vegas. It's like 120 degrees.
Yeah.
So when we're done working for the day, we go into the sauna.
Yeah, that's the right idea.
Right.
We got that sauna up to like 190 degrees.
Oh, how was it?
It's a nice, beautiful barrel sauna.
I wouldn't be able to
Solaris,
breathe.
I think is the name.
Just thinking about it, I'm having a hard time breathing
It
right
was
now.
freaking awesome. And then, I'm like, hey, you got a cold plunge?
Right.
She's like, yeah, the swimming pool. The swimming pool's 87 degrees.
Well, that's cool. That's right.
I'm making sure I can hear you guys.
Can you
Can
hear
you
me?
hear me?
How about me?
Can you hear
Barely.
me
You
now?
got to get it a little closer. Put that mic in your face.
Put it in my mouth.
Just solid.
They didn't fix that, huh?
No.
Yeah. George was.
I mean, it's good on the camera.
They hate.
you
They
look
hate
good on
me.
camera.
They hate me.
No, George just got back.
But where's the camera that's picking you up?
No, we don't have the second camera yet. We're gonna get a second camera.
No. I mean,
It's that camera, right there.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I can hear you. You can move it around if you just like if Chris is pissing you off. Just here.
Oh, look at that.
You're gone.
I like
But,
that. Just put it mostly on me.
That,
yeah, you want
know
just
what?
just
That-
on you?
That's really cool.
Just on you.
That's really cool.
There you are. I don't want anybody to think that this is the way you normally look. I mean, it's getting a little frustrating. The last one we did on a Friday, and you look like this.
Because I was going to teach a class.
yeah, I was going to a wake.
But you don't care.
That's pretty bad stuff. Anyway, going back to your 190 degree sauna that I can't.
I'm not
Anyway,
coming
can't
back
breathe
in.
in.
Saturday we wake up, went for a ruck, had a nice 45-pound ruck, which was good.
Nice.
You brought your 45 pound.
No.
You know how much that cost you?
Right. Could have bought one.
Lisa Marie's husband Chad has. They go rucking all the time, so I just took his, and then we worked all day. Met with the accounting firm, met with all the people because we're it's crunch time. We're building this new platform. So that's what I'm going to use this room for.
Yeah.
Launch my podcast here.
I was ready for you the other day.
Yeah.
I could have met you here.
But we had to put together the whole business plan because we have to restructure our entire corporate environment. We have to, just to make sure we're compliant in all the states that we're functioning in. So it's a big deal. And then this weekend, I'm going to Orlando to speak at FCA. And we're going to talk about a little bit about what we're launching, but we're not going to be launching it until probably October.
All right.
All right.
That sounds exciting.
That is.
No,
So you
it's
didn't
great.
you didn't Vegas at all?
Not at all. I mean, not at all. I fucking lost my driver's license. You know what it's like to get back on an airplane? I'm getting on the red eye. I'm like, where the fuck is my license?
No.
No.
So on the iPhone they sell these magnetic wallets.
Yeah.
I when I got to the airport at Newark, I put my license in there, and
The whole magnetic
just
thing
fucking
popped off.
somewhere, and it's gone.
I would rather lose so many things
Dude,
other
'cause
than
I got
my license.
I got TSA, I got clear. I'm like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I get to the airport late, and I don't have my license.
What'd you have to do?
Had to go to TSA person. I'm like, listen, what's the procedure here? I can't be the first one who ever lost his
Right.
license
Yeah.
in
No, I
Vegas.
know people.
Especially in Vegas, they're like they have a room. Did you lose your license? And they put it in.
So I had to come up with like my motor vehicle car registration and a credit card and show. But then they went through my shit with a fine tooth comb. Like they put me through. They got this wand that's supposed to detect if things are going to explode. They went through.
Why don't they just use that wand on everything?
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They have a wand that does that. Why can't they just do that? Why do we have to do everything we have to
That's
do?
right.
Why-
Use the
That,
wand.
that
Yeah.
seems like it makes the most amount of sense.
Right. Nah, nothing.
So, what if you had a picture of your license? On
No,
your phone?
I had it on my, and they're like, no, it needs to be your
Yeah.
name.
So how did you get? So then you had to get a picture of your registration and a picture of a
No, I
credit
had my registration in my wallet.
card. Oh, I would
Yeah.
never.
Like it could have been my well, I also had my insurance card, which was expired, so that
Right.
was no good.
I don't have any of that.
I would
in my
never
wallet.
carry any of that. In my
I
wallet.
carry
yeah.
cash. I don't know
I got
why I
like-
do that. I got my driver's license.
That's
an
it.
ATM
Stanza.
card. I do have a little bit of Costanza. I got my insurance card, and the most important card, I got my Costco card, and then I have just credit cards.
The insurance card and the credit card would have been.
Oh, okay.
They just
I don't
wanted
have my
two
insurance
forms
Two
of,
forms of ID.
of ID with your name on.
Oh, I would have been screwed if
I got to get
no.
health insurance. I don't even have health insurance.
Yeah, you know what? You got to get health insurance, but get one of those
Medishares. That's what-
Medishares or
that's what I'm gonna
something
get.
with like a $20,000 deductible.
Yeah, the Medishares
Why-
are
It's
great.
catastrophe care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've I was always set on making it into my 50s before ever getting health insurance. That was my goal in life.
Yeah, but you're like 64 right now.
I made it. I did it. I did it. I did it.
You overshot the
You're
mark.
gonna break
Yeah.
a hip before you get
Yeah,
this thing.
yeah. At this point, I keep thinking I better hurry up.
So the $10,000 deductible is great because you don't pay all that stupid money in premium because we're healthy,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
could just take that money, put it aside, let it grow in some account.
That's
and then
exactly it.
when you need it, you use it.
This is what I said that we should be able to have is a catastrophe care and just
Yeah.
pay for the catastrophe. God forbid you have to be in the hospital for 5 days, or it's 50,000 a day.
No,
You got to 10,000. Even if you had a $20,000 deductible,
Yeah.
at 250,000 for a hospital stay, here's 20,000. We're good.
No, I mean,
and I'm not
it doesn't-
paying. I pay $35,000 a year for my family to be insured
Right.
before I get any type of
Yeah.
of health, any
Yeah.
healthcare. So that's what drives me crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, shit does happen. I had my that deductible. I had to use it a couple of years ago. I had my intestines twisted up,
Ooh.
all on its own.
Oh, how great! How thank you so much.
Yeah, and I wound up in the emergency room on a day just like today, a perfectly beautiful day, getting ready to ride my bike. I felt a little off.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you guys ride?
no.
You still haven't?
No, dude, I'm
I'm all tuned up. I'm
I
ready to
ride
ride
all
the
the
road.
time.
This guy's all gone. He hasn't been here since we said
And
it.
he won't let you ride.
He
by
won't let
yourself.
me ride.
He's like,
This is a rough month. So Vegas last week, Orlando this week. Next week I'm going to Indianapolis, and then the next week I'm going to the Virginia-Tennessee border for Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, you
Nice.
sound like
So
you're not
it's
having any
all-
fun at
it's
all.
All travel.
That's
Well,
fun.
no fun in Vegas. It's not going to be fun in Orlando. It's going to be
It's work
I shouldn't say
fun.
that. It's going
Work,
to be
yeah.
it's work fun. Orlando's going to be good. my daughter's coming with me. She's going to be working my table, and
Nice.
it'll be great.
That's nice.
I'm going to see some people we know. Jay Greenstein's going to be there, and Alan Miner's going to be there. It's the second biggest chiropractic event.
I was just about to say, it's like Parker, and then there's the FCA,
Yeah.
right? How big is that?
International. It's 3,000 people around there. It's a big event.
I need to find something to do.
Me too. Want to do something?
I
What do
ride
you
my
mean?
bike.
You ride our
You
bike.
feeling an itch? You feeling an itch to do something?
No, I just feel like I feel like every once in a while I feel like I should got to go to some type of a seminar or some type of event.
Yeah.
Don't you do that to have to keep your license anyway, or you just go
Yeah,
online?
the
Yeah,
basics,
but that's
but
basic
that's
stuff. I feel like there's got to be some fun stuff to do around. Then I don't.
Yeah, but
You
what
do
about all
anything
the
for fun? What do you do?
CBP stuff.
Oh, they're so fucking boring. Sorry. Just
Who are you apologizing to?
life. Just anyone who's
In 24 years, if we get popular, somebody's gonna go back to our second podcast. and they're
He
gonna be
said
like,
we're- he
he's
said we're
dead.
boring.
so
You're gonna,
fucking
be, you're gonna
boring.
be long gone, and you're gonna be on like the board of CBP, and
Yeah,
they're gonna
right.
freaking remove your name,
Yeah,
they're gonna
right.
scratch your
Scratch
name
me
out
off.
of everything. Like there's a bronze trophy somewhere.
Shit, man. They're just like,
Because they're all engineer minds.
yeah, they're so
They're
smart,
all-
and I'm
yeah.
not that. I don't think like that.
Yeah.
And all I do is listening to all their
Banter. Are they like
They're-
arguing with each
they're
other?
just the way they talk so analytical,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then they pretend like they're talking to patients, and because I study human behavior, I can pick out all the words they say wrong and why they don't have any busy practices, and I'm like, it doesn't matter how smart you are if you don't.
That's
What
true,
is-
but you need guys like them, and then you need
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
like you,
yeah,
that
No,
can
I'm
take the
blessed.
information that they're amazing at
Dude,
getting.
They
right?
have, I
Give it to
came
the world.
out 23 years. I came out strong, just started doing CVP from the start. So yes, I appreciate it, but it's tough for me to sit through just because they're so smart and they're so analytical.
It's the analytical thing. So they're
Geniuses.
not geniuses when it comes to the stuff that you're.
Right.
a
They're
genius
not
that you're
geniuses
good at.
when it comes to talking to human beings.
What attracted you to CBP
I
to
just
begin with?
felt super uncomfortable, even in undergrad, of the constant conversations of talking about structure and alignments of curves, and then never having the conversation again. Like it made no sense to me. Like during the ROF, you talk about
Yeah.
the position of the spine and the subluxations and the curve and the alignment, and then there was never any follow up. There was like
This is just the way it is. Listen to me.
What school did you go to?
I went to Life University.
Yeah.
But even out in practice, when I would go like see other doctors, they always take an X-ray.
Yeah.
But then they never took another
Right,
X-ray.
right,
I'm like,
right.
why are you having
Like,
a
why are you doing an
conversation about
assessment?
why are you
Right.
assessing the structure of the spine and then never ever re-X-raying it ever again? Like every single patient that that comes through my office has been to a chiropractor who's either not taking X-rays, which blows my mind, or talked about the structure and then never followed up on it again. And I was like, this is weird to me. This is a fancy Advil, right? We're adjusting
yeah.
them to make them feel better, but not actually.
It's all
proven.
palliative.
Yeah, like this hurts, do this. Not any like wellness. It just was. I was actually we're gonna leave school because I couldn't. It was super uncomfortable for me.
But they had every technique there.
They did, and not any
They
of.
did.
they
Oh my
did.
God, I'm hearing
Well,
this now,
they did,
man.
yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? What
Tons.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm like, what happened to life, man?
What happened to the profession is the question. But
Yeah,
God, I
Um,
mean, yes, okay, you could say that, but like it started at like
it was.
Hey,
Tons
say,
of stuff
I was there at a really bad time. I was there. We lost our accreditation,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I was there for that, and I get it. Like you needed to progress chiropractic into the healthcare if you wanted it to remain a part of healthcare at some point, right? I know you don't want to be mainstream this at the other thing.
No.
Call it what you may, but he needed to do something he didn't, and then they pulled the accreditation as such. However, the education, whatever was going on behind the scenes, not
Right.
progressive, but the education I thought was amazing. The fact that every single technique was on campus,
Yeah.
most of them being taught during the curriculum, and if it wasn't taught during the curriculum,
Yeah.
without a doubt, there was a club for it.
right.
Yeah, it was
and you
fabulous.
were introduced to it.
Yeah, I mean, I went.
I
to
mean,
them
Greg,
all.
I'm talking to Greg now. I'm like, okay, so when you did Diversify, they're like, no. When you did SOT, you go, no.
He was
Yeah, Activator,
pandemic.
anything.
He was.
That's true,
during
too.
the
Yeah,
pandemic,
they were
which
in
is brutal.
school on
They had the
computers.
worst communication skills. They
Yeah.
had the worst hands.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
So
too.
the
I don't
New
know.
York Chiropractic College, or what is there a New
Yeah.
York Chiropractic
Mhm.
College?
Yeah, but they don't call it that anymore.
Whatever.
Northeast College of Health Sciences.
Right,
The
just-
Northeast College of anything that sells.
Right. They just opened a
Boy,
spot
we are
in
not
Long
going to make any fans.
Right. They just opened a spot in Long Island.
Yeah, what is the deal?
It's
there?
always
What-
been there,
what-
though.
No, no,
No,
no,
no, it's brand new.
no.
But it
Did
started
they
in Levittown.
Right.
Well, it started in the
Started
city,
left, but it moved, but
Columbia,
it came back to Long Island. But only the labs are there, and everything else is 100% online. So you just do all your stuff
Is
online.
it a separate school?
It's a separate school, so you just go
And
there.
It's a chiropractic school.
This
It's
chiropractic part,
not health sciences.
it's a chiropractic part of that school.
You
Yes,
could do it online.
so you can do the whole school online. You just drive there for your labs for the day, and then you can. So
Well, I guess when it comes to the didactic undergraduate, well, not the undergraduate, but like the postgraduate, but science portion
You
of
could
it.
do
Why
that.
can't
You
you
could do that on-
I think they
on-
proved
Yeah.
that during COVID.
yeah,
right?
I mean, I think they might have proved it, except for I feel like there's a giant.
I mean, you're talking about like anatomy, physiology, microbiology.
Yeah, but I
neurology, like
even
all that.
still,
Yeah.
it's like
but even endocrinology,
you're-
that's, well, no,
you're
I-
going there, you're doing your lab, you're leaving, you're not, like there's no clubs, there's no hands
Well,
on.
that
Like they're sitting behind a
Right.
computer, they're not learning how to communicate to human beings, they're
Right.
not learning.
They're not doing
this.
palpation in
They're
the
not-
first semester.
I swear to you,
They're
that
not-
we did motion
Yeah,
palpation
the first
in
semester.
first quarter. For
Yeah,
us, it was quarter. First quarter was motion palpation. I think toggle might have been second quarter.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken, it was without a doubt in the first year. Now they don't touch anybody.
No, I was in motion palpation in undergrad. I did
Mopal
all
1
the
and
way up
Mopal
through-
2.
Yeah, I did 1, 2, 3 right in club right before I even was in
Yeah.
Tell
one.
you the truth, I mean, that would be a good seminar for me to go back to right now. All right,
Yeah.
all right. I
They
did that
have,
100 years ago. Now I want to see after 20 years of practice.
Yeah.
How am I good? Can I,
Dr.
I mean-
Greg was and Dr. Taylor went to an adjusting seminar with Nick and Steph. They have a guy who he used to be in my mastermind for TRP. They opened a chiropractic training center because they said people are coming out of school now.
Yeah.
doing
What a
that.
great idea.
It's called
Why don't we do that?
Syntropy or something is the company.
Oh yeah, I know the guy. The
Two
young guy.
guys.
He went to Parker.
Two-
Why can't we just call it CTC, Chiropractic Training Center?
Yeah, you could.
You know,
You in?
They need it.
You know,
No, I'm
it's,
not babysitting anybody.
we were
You don't
talking
want to
about this.
babysit anyway?
We were talking about this.
No, I don't give a fuck.
You know, when my
Sorry.
roommate Benito, he was already in Tri 4 when I was in Tri 1, and I met him like 2 weeks before school even started. Like I drove down to Dallas. I just got there. I met Benito. He's like, "Hey, give me an adjustment." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
I'm
He's like,
pre,
"Come on,
I'm pre
just,
try one.
just set up. I'll show you. I'll show you." And I delivered my first adjustment before I ever even entered school, which is illegal.
Right, I did too.
We all did. My roommate was also a quarter ahead of me. He was in second quarter. He's from Cincinnati, Ohio. And I got there and he had a whole group of guys that with one of the guys from the clubs. Like he got very into Thompson, but I can't remember what it was. They had
We
too
had
many tables.
So down
Mhm.
at Parker in the 90s, we had like 11 techniques that we had to learn. So me and my buddy Tim, and we were competitive, and Tim was an athlete, and everything was competition. Everything was competitive. So when it came to adjusting, it was like, so it's all about speed. It's all So we had our hands on people. We were lighting people up from day one, and by the time we got into clinic, every staff doctor wanted me and Tim to adjust them. No, they would never turn to a student for an adjustment.
It is
They
so
all
true.
wanted us to adjust them.
What you're saying is so true. Two things, by the way. Number one, I think for some reason this came up. I guess it's only Wednesday, but it came up all week for me. Is being competitive. What a positive thing
Yeah.
it is to be competitive.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little bit negative.
Yeah.
I've never had to do like a corporate interview, but I can imagine like they say like what's your worst quality or worst trait or whatever,
Right.
something like
Yeah.
that. I'd be like, well, I'm really competitive
Yeah.
because that could be
That
all
could
right,
be,
well, what is
yeah.
that? I mean, it's a positive negative, I
Right.
believe, right? But
If
I'm
you're-
like, I'm
if
really
you're-
competitive.
If you're in finance, it's awesome. If
How-
you're a social worker,
Right.
Well, I to tell you the truth. All right, let's go into social work. I think in any industry and anything like being competitive, if you're a social worker and you're helping people, you want to be competitively helping these people better than anybody can help these people. I think it's a driving force.
no, I get it.
So
You
I
gotta
mean,
be competitive with yourself,
Right.
not with others. I think is a fine line.
But the thing with what we do for from a chiropractic perspective, it's the thing that these young doctors graduating now who don't have that kind of training
Yeah.
that we had is they don't understand that the faster the adjustment, the more gentle it is.
Right.
speed is everything, right?
Yeah.
So it's like low amplitude, high velocity. Like that's it.
Right.
If you're going to move bones, right?
Right,
If you're going to be that tight,
Yeah.
there are great non-osseous techniques and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But when it comes to moving bones, high velocity,
Yeah.
and they're afraid of it for some reason.
HVLA. That's all
Yeah.
we learned about HVLA.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that was on the boards. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I'm going to bore people to death. We start talking about the boards.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking bored.
I had Paget's disease on mine. When was the last time Paget's disease was even discovered in
you
the world?
You remember your board?
I remember. I remember everything.
I don't remember
That's how
anything.
that's why people think I'm smart, because I remember absolutely everything. I
Yeah.
can tell you what my 7th grade math teacher put on
I
the
remember
corner of the
all
board
the
and what color
mnemonics.
chalk he used. Yeah, I said chalk. All right, chalk, not markers, because we had real blackboards back
Nobody
then.
remember clapping the erasers?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In elementary school, I used
Yeah.
to be the one. I want to go clean the
Me
erasers.
too.
'Cause I just wanted to
Go-
get the
go
heck out of
outside,
school and
yeah,
go down
yeah.
to the janitor's office, and
Uh-huh.
they had the
I'm
Eraser
old,
pen,
I'm
he
old enough
touched
to
you.
remember smelling the Xerox.
oh yeah, the toner, the ink.
What was it? Because it wasn't Xerox. It wasn't a photocopy. It was
Carbon copy.
No, no, it was,
it was what
The
was
fax. It was
called?
like the fax with the
It
they would like burn it on. What was it?
You old motherfucker.
yeah.
Good morning,
we used to
Victoria.
take it.
I don't know what that
I want to make sure everybody knows that
Right.
was going on. He's
what-
huffing
Yeah, he's
Xerox.
huffing,
ink
he's
before-
huffing Xerox.
What was it called? It was
Xerox.
It was. I know what you're talking about, and you've got a few years on me, but I know what you're talking about.
No,
Well,
I don't know.
You know,
It'll-
since
it'll
we're
pop up.
live streaming, we should get it so that people can fucking.
They can.
When
Oh,
that
oh,
person
when-
starts-
when that one-
They can.
When-
I have it on the bottom over there.
When-
Can
is-
you imagine
is-
there's
is-
anybody actually watching?
Is
this?
my
Hey,
is my
look,
this might be my
Bob is
mom.
asking.
Mom, my mom is on. She asked me. She said she.
I would
watched
love.
us.
I would send this to my mother. My
Yeah,
mother's not
my
going to be up
mom-
for 4 hours though.
My mom asked for if she could subscribe to it. I said, yeah.
Yeah,
you
anyone
can watch
suffering from insomnia can
Right.
absolutely turn
I-
this on.
Yeah, I think it's. I wish you would. So you're talking about is it have little dotted things on the side?
Yeah. No.
Well, that was
no,
the old
that's dot
printers.
matrix.
That was
Those-
dot matrix.
those
No,
are-
no, the ribbon. Remember the ribbon? That was the ribbon that you did, thing like that. It was like typewriter ribbon. What the heck? I know what you're talking about.
Pre-Xerox.
Gosh, you
We
guys
got all this technology here. We can ask.
You can.
Universe.
You can know on
should be
your
able
phone.
to talk out loud and get an answer.
Oh, first of all, you wanted to know about an iPad. We got to talk to Deep about all that stuff. Like, 'cause
Well,
you could have an iPad right here.
So if my iPad was hooked up,
Well, you could definitely do
Here.
that because you could stream that. You could stream your iPad. I have the Apple TV or something like that.
So
where you
what-
can put it right? You can put it right from your iPad up to here.
but how would I switch from this camera to just the screen? Like if I wanted to switch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Just to the screen.
sure there's a way to do
Is there
that.
a Zoom?
Or you Zoom. Here.
I
So
should-
imagine my head's not here because if you're going to do it by yourself or the one behind you, right? So you have fast zoom, so we can come in here and just like here. We're going to be right on that TV,
Oh yeah. All right. How'd you
This
zoom?
is awesome.
just right here,
Oh, Zoom. All right. So you could pull
We could
up
just
something
zoom
and I
in, yeah.
could zoom in on it for you.
right? Hold on. Do you see this amount of shine?
Shiny up there. Yeah. What's
So,
going on?
Where's my makeup artist?
I don't
for
know
this?
what
Look
you're
at like
talking
why? What? Look at how bad that is.
That
Like
is-
I have more hair on this side than I have on
I
this
think
side.
Steve has more hair than me.
Kelly was busting about.
It's a
Where
good
is it,
thing
over
you
here?
scored a beautiful
Look at
wife.
these- look at these
It's a good
pictures
thing you
over here.
scored a beautiful
That-
wife.
listen, it's
Way
better to
back,
be lucky.
way back.
It's better to be lucky than to be good, man. That's what they say. I don't.
So
think-
I spoke to Kelly the other day. So so the podcast that I want to do is, kind of, it's going to be an extension, of course, of the material that I do on my Instagram. But, sitting here just talking to yourself is no fun, right? But it's going to be great because Kelly can just come in. She could do a little, there's so many things we can talk about that she does that's fascinating.
I
think it's
love this
brilliant.
idea. I mean, even with the door open, I don't know if it's gonna mess up the sound or anything like that. But like door open,
But if
like
somebody walks into the office and hey, come on in,
Right.
you can
I like
do a
that.
whole.
I like that. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if we could do that. Remember your idea last time with the opaque, just to block us out. I'm sure that's even possible. I don't know.
That's all right.
Let's see if this thing takes off. It seems like it will. It's funny because I have friends in a couple of different industries who's now seen this. They're like, okay, we need a podcast
Yeah.
room. I'm like, oh well, I guess it's pretty popular.
No, this is.
So, I got one guy.
this is gonna
He
be
does
great.
really fancy cars. I'll give him a spot. It's Motor Car Manor. It's over in Ramsey. It's actually by you. He's got a huge warehouse. He's got like a lot of movie cars and stuff like that. But he's also got very, very nice. Like people store their cars there and everything like that.
Movie
he's-
cars? What do you mean movie
Yeah,
cars?
he's got the Family Funster. He's got the DeLorean from Back to the Future. He's got
Oh, okay. So Got it.
So he has Herbie.
Right.
No, she said it's Herbie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the actual
Right,
Herbie
right.
or a Herbie, but like it's really cool.
What was
I
the
like,
Mustang called from Bullet?
Bullet or Gone in 60 Seconds?
No.
Bullet or God in 60 seconds.
Come on. It's like
You guys, Steve
It's
can't
like
remember
saying,
shit today.
Morning, Chris. Kelly. I almost called you Kristen. Sorry. Kelly D in the house.
What the? All right.
What was
I
the
don't
name
know.
of it?
Bullet.
Bullet.
What's Bullet?
Steve McQueen, the most famous car chase in movie history.
No.
With the '67 Mustang in it. It was called it was a woman's name, like Nora or Eleonora.
Eleanor.
Eleanor was from Gone in 60
Eleanor,
That's from
Eleanor.
Gone in 60
Okay,
Okay,
Seconds.
but
60
they
seconds.
stole it from they stole it from.
Oh,
Oh,
is
now
that
they
why?
stole it.
Oh, okay.
Or no.
They
You're just
stole
trying to take credit away from Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
That's yeah.
that's fair.
Steve McQueen is also from the Cars movie, by the way. Isn't that the name of the cartoon car?
Yeah,
Car?
Yeah, but he's dead.
McQueen.
Steve McQueen died of cancer.
Sorry, kids.
He's dead.
Right, right.
Sorry, kids. I know there's 11 Cars movies. Just want to let you know.
Right, he's dead.
Dead.
McQueen
Yes,
You
is
should
dead.
learn better.
Yeah, but he's dead. Right, Jesus Christ.
Don't sugarcoat it.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever
but-
you do, man.
Yeah.
I think a few kids might actually watch this and
Right.
just destroy.
Oh,
them.
the name of the character in the cartoon
Yes.
was McQueen.
McQueen.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, but
Maybe
he's
that's Steve
dead.
McQueen, but he's dead.
Right. This is the dead car.
It's a good tribute. That's a good tribute.
So that's so fun.
Of course.
But
So hold on. You told us about these trips you got Florida. We understand, right? So and then you got what are you doing? In
going to Indianapolis. So we're meeting with. So what we're doing is we're launching what will be a nationwide service that's going to provide blood chemistry analysis for people who really want to get healthy and improve their metabolic health. So we have an office that a client in Indianapolis that is they're in the process of franchising what they're doing, and they want to make sure that we're able to provide the same service to all of their franchises. So we're going to meet with them and make sure that their needs are met. So what we're building from a corporate, some exciting shit. I mean, for me, like this is the kind of stuff that turns me on.
Should I wake Chris up or no?
Right.
He's
I know.
dozing over
I
here.
know.
No, I'm fine. I'm
But
fine.
He's got natural light.
Yeah, I'm good.
it's super exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. So we're going to go there, and sometimes you just got to show up. You get an idea,
Yeah.
you get enough Zoom calls. You're like, all right, well, I think we need to sit at a conference table for like 7 hours, a whiteboard, and get this thing mapped out,
Yeah.
and then we'll go and build it. Which is what happened. Why I flew to Vegas. This whole thing during the pandemic, it was the last weekend in April 2020, and the week we had a UAC event in Scottsdale, like.
Is that the
In
one that
March of
with the
2020.
masks you called out on
I
over
don't
there?
know. I don't know. That must have been whatever you were
Yeah.
sent. Yeah.
So no, but
Yeah.
this was March 2020.
Yeah, that was the montage.
Yeah, montage.
No. So, but we were in downtown Scottsdale in the W, and it was I think the spring training for baseball. The place was packed.
Yeah, Rona hadn't hit Arizona by April yet,
Okay,
right?
So
That's what-
it was like spring break. I mean, they had a pool on the third floor or whatever, and it was madness, absolute spring break type madness. And so we had our event, but 20% of the people who were supposed to show up had their flights canceled. So we knew the world something was going on. Like we kind of
Right.
saw it. And I was talking to Joe Esposito, and Joe and I we were friendly, but we never really talked business. And we're interested in a lot of the same stuff: blood chemistry, nutrition, supplements, formulations. So we got into a conversation. We're like, yeah, we got to do something together. And I just remember turning to him before we left on Sunday saying, this, whatever's going on with this virus, there's something going on here. Like, this is not going to be some fly-by-night thing. It's just what I felt. And so I flew home, and I remember being on the airplane thinking, I'm getting out in front of this. I'm not going to be a bystander. The world's going to change in front of me. Like, after 9/11, I just kind of, I practiced in Manhattan. Like the whole world was changing, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I was just kind of following what other people were doing. And then, you get your bearings back and practice is going. And then again, 2009 financial crisis hits. like, you find yourself reacting instead of being proactive. So I was like, I'm going to be proactive. My brain just started working in that manner. That Thursday, they shut the world down. I called Joe Esposito within a couple of weeks. I'm like, I have an idea, but, and we talked about it. We got on a Zoom call. He's like, it's a great idea. How do you put it together? And I'm like, I think we need to just hammer this thing out. I'm coming to Chicago. Meet me there. So I
Isn't
get
Joe
on
in
an
Puerto Rico?
airplane.
Where's Joe?
No, well, he's in Puerto Rico now, but
Oh,
he's an Illinois guy.
Got it.
So he lives like an hour or two outside of Chicago. So I get on an airplane at Newark. The terminal always has like 1 million people, like 20 airplanes in the one terminal. There was one airplane, 3 people.
Right.
That was it. All of the entire terminal, Terminal C, I think it was. So we're on the airplane, get to Chicago. There's a bus that's going to bring me to the hotel airport. I think it was the Lowe's. The guy's wrapped in plastic, mask, plastic everywhere. I'm the only guy in the bus. I'm the only guy in there. It was the fucking Twilight Zone. Get to the hotel. There's not a soul in the hotel. There's one guy behind fucking plastic and masks and
I love it.
plexiglass. And I'm like, I check into my room. I go to bed. I wake up and, I get up and I go to the gym. You go to a hotel, you get up, you go to the gym. Go down. It's the Twilight Zone. There's nobody. Everybody's gone. There's no people. The gym was open. I worked out. There wasn't a soul.
You didn't see any tumbleweed?
I go to the front desk. The same guys wrapped in plastic, 1,000 masks on. Joe shows up at like 8:30. We sat there for what seemed like 14 straight hours in the lobby, hammering out a plan for basically dealing with the metabolic crisis our country is in, because we knew that the medical profession could give a shit about your metabolic health. Your metabolic health very quickly was determining whether or not this virus was going to be a brief nothing or it was going to take you out. And there's 60,000 chiropractors with patients coming in who are metabolically unhealthy. So we designed a program to help chiropractors who don't specialize in what I specialize in be able to leverage the knowledge that people like me have to provide metabolic services. So we designed it, and you just got to go in person. You just got to go, get it done, hammer it out.
So you did 14 hours in Chicago.
Straight.
4 years
Joe's
ago.
back was killing him. I was adjusting him. I'm adjusting him on that. I mean, it was hysterical. It was hysterical.
So 14 hours 4 years ago. How far away from that whiteboard that you created at the end of that 14 hours? How far was from that vision
plan,
where you're at right here?
It's funny. The way we're running things today is not too different from what it was then, but now it has to change because we need to scale. We proved the model.
Yeah.
There's a demand for it. People who are using it love it, but we can't scale. So we have to change everything in order to be able to scale to a volume that's going to be more meaningful.
Yeah.
So,
but how cool is that? You did this 4 years ago with no knowledge of that aspect of it whatsoever.
Right.
And here you are 4 years later and at a point where you're talking about scaling,
Right.
which means obviously you're at an amazing point. And it's not that far off from where the hell you guys were sitting in that hotel.
Right.
You're wearing masks.
You know what was great?
Chris will kill you. Chris will kill you.
Fuck
Kids.
no. Let me tell you something.
I'm
I
just curious.
remember when there were like
Just wondering.
Ask you for a friend.
Yeah.
there was like military people in the airports during that time. And-
God forbid you pulled your mask down and you weren't eating. Is that what they were there for?
Right.
What are they going to do? It makes me so angry.
Yeah, no. That whole time period, I want to forget that it ever fucking existed.
Yeah.
I have no tolerance for.
I just want to talk about the whole non-controversial stuff. I don't want to get involved in the conspiracy, but the non-controversial stuff that, like, what were you doing? Come on. There's no science, no
I
health,
enjoyed
no
it.
logic, no anything that went into this. Fauci this, that. I don't care about the government this, that, the other. Well, I guess that new thing. Like, hey, where'd you come up with that 6-foot rule? He goes, oh, some guy out of left field just said it.
Yeah.
That really upset me.
No, the best is.
And I wanted to have some faith that there was a little bit of science. I mean,
know
even though
better.
you knew there was no logic to a lot of that stuff.
Right, and then you were berated with follow the science.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I had time off, free time.
I didn't. I worked harder. I had to furlough all of my employees. I saw every single patient for 2 years.
I went hiking more than I've
That's
ever
what I
went
mean.
hiking in my life.
We did. I went
every night. We went walking or hiking or bike riding.
That is
Uh,
true. My whole family went up. We went to, our thing was we were going to go to all the different waterfalls in the area.
Yeah.
All the way up to, top of New York, out in Jersey, Pennsylvania border down.
We left early from work every night.
It was probably the best thing for my kids.
Yeah, same. We had such good time together.
My kids were outside getting in trouble for playing soccer.
Yeah.
Like some neighbor,
Yeah.
get off the field.
Yeah,
And I'm like, listen, I don't care.
You
who
do
that
you.
I don't care who that person is. Like this idea of respect for adults. I told my son, I go, let me tell you something. If some dude came out of his house yelling at me to get off a soccer field, he's gonna get the finger, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I fully authorize that.
We were at the Mawa High School running the track and sprints and doing hurdles and stuff.
Yeah.
And then after a while they blocked it off and gated it.
Yeah.
We just climbed over.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what.
Don't ever let those people forget what they did.
Absolutely.
Don't ever
Yeah. We
let
had a
them
good time.
forget what they
That was
did.
really good time.
Well,
That-
it's funny because I even
I'm
tell-
getting angry now. Sorry, I'm like not talking.
No,
I'm
no,
getting
no,
all
but-
angry going
Don't
back
get
over
angry.
there.
I had this conversation with one of my kids. My kids are burgeoning adults now. So during the pandemic, they were high school kids or grade school, middle school, whatever. I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, it was 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
High school.
High school.
2000 was March of 2020.
So I remember saying, don't ever, said, you got to see your parents under stress. You got to see your friends' parents under stress. Look at how they behaved and think about how you're going to handle stress in life. You don't compromise your principles when you know you're right, just
Right.
because everybody else is doing something else. That was such a great lesson. I remember turning to my daughter because at that time they're rebellious. They're like, my parents don't know shit. Whatever my parents think, the opposite's got to be true. Like that. That's the age that they were at. So my wife and I were like not having it, and put signs in front of our house, unmask our kids. Like just letting everybody know exactly where we stand. And I just remember saying, just remember how your friends' parents reacted. Remember how your parents reacted. Because it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit when everything is nice and comfortable for you to have principles. And then all of a sudden life
Pushes you a little bit, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'll abandon all those principles.
Fold it up.
You
Right.
don't fold. You're not a folder.
I don't give a shit.
Right.
Is Lauren a folder?
No, we don't.
Right.
We talked about just walking away from it and moving to a
Yeah.
different country.
Didn't matter what country you're
If
at.
they
at that
were
point.
mandating me to get a vaccine or anything, we
Yeah.
were just going to close up and go to like a Caribbean island or something.
Yeah.
Like I'm never gonna. But
There's no mandates.
I couldn't put anything like that. Couldn't do it.
No
The fact is, here we go. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. And they're going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
gonna
if
be
they're
the
going
same
to
thing, is
it
not?
I don't know if they're going to get away with it.
They're
I-
never getting away with
Well, I
that.
don't think they'll get away with it, but they'll still try.
No, I don't even.
Don't
think
you
so.
think
I
so?
don't know.
I don't think
You don't
so.
think they'll
No,
try?
because they blew it then, and it's 10,000 times more awareness of how they blew it. They'll
Yeah.
never get. They will get a 25% follow through rate on this one if they tried again.
Did you?
My
see
mother
that
is still
video?
following through. She's still wearing a mask.
Did you see
That's so
that
cute.
video? What they did in Minneapolis?
I love old
They were
people.
shooting. They had the cops go down the street. They were shooting people with paint guns.
Yeah,
Like if you were
During the
during the
pandemic.
pandemic, right? They had loudspeakers. The cops, the police. Can you imagine being a cop and being told, go down the street, and if you see somebody on their own fucking porch and they don't go back in the house, shoot them with a paint gun.
right.
And they did it. See, that's what's
Kids,
shocking.
isn't that a crime? Isn't that a crime? I mean, it's
Yeah.
got to be against all types of whatever liberties that we
Yeah,
had.
absolutely.
And some of and our country wasn't even the worst ones.
No.
No. I had patients that
Oh,
have families in
Australia.
Australia.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I was gonna say.
Let me tell you, when it comes to Canada and Australia, sorry guys, I
Right.
have no
Listen, if you got-
fucking desire to go to your
But if they have different laws, and they have different laws, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine. If
No,
you
they
don't
didn't
have
have
the same
different laws.
constitution, you
They-
don't have the same
they-
Bill of Rights, you don't have that.
What they don't have is, there's a thing that people turn to about how all these, like there's a a movie or something on HBO that was
Bullet?
popular 10 years ago. No,
Bullet.
it wasn't Bullet.
Eleanor.
No,
The
but they
car
had
was
this
called
actor do
Eleanor.
this speech about how you think America's so great, and
Oh, it was the great. It was
Other-
a show. It was on Showtime. It was Jeff Daniels Newsroom.
yeah.
It was.
Okay.
I
Newsroom.
thought that was one of the greatest lines in the history of
and it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
He's
He
like,
goes,
he
it's not
rattles
anymore.
off
America's
all these
not
countries.
anymore. That was the great. Thank you for bringing that up.
Dude, you see what's going on in Great Britain right now?
Right now,
No, you know I don't.
They're arresting people. Dude, they're arresting people
Yeah.
for
You
look.
know I don't know.
If I sit here and
why
say,
would you ask him if he knows anything that's going on
I
in the
know.
world right now? Kamala Harris is actually now running for the president of the United States. I need to let you know
I
that.
did hear that.
Just making sure.
I did hear that.
but so he, what the fuck were we just talking
Jeff
about?
Daniels Newsroom in Great Britain right now.
Right
as
now,
people are
Great
getting
Britain.
arrested.
If you said, if you're in-
Steve's losing
look,
his shit.
we're on YouTube. If we're in Great Britain, check this out. If I say, fuck you to anything you have to say in Great Britain for, civil discourse and all that shit, right now, what I said, I get arrested in Great Britain. And they said some bullshit about how they can see me saying this sitting in this chair in New York, but if it's airing in Great Britain, if somebody's on YouTube in Great Britain watching this shit, that they can, I don't know, come to America and arrest me.
What?
Wait. So,
What?
yeah, so now you've gone
Why?
beyond my knowledge.
Why?
So you can't say anything negative
By the
about
way, I
anything
have,
about
I have
anyone.
no
or anything like-
knowledge about this being true, except I heard somebody
Asterisk.
say, I heard somebody
Well, all right.
say,
All right.
But
So there's an.
if that's true, the world is gone.
All right. So
absolutely
I'm not going to ask Chris. I'll ask you because he's not going to know.
I don't know.
Allegedly, I heard yesterday that they're changing old movies to remove offensive things on it, like when people were called fat or something like that. And they're
Right.
removing
That's
like,
fair.
That's like who? By the way, who the?
I don't know.
I did hear from. It was God, I should have sent it to myself. I heard it last night.
I have the right to not be offended by you.
That's the woman said. Like that is literally the in essence when you say it's the cost of doing business and then something negative. She
Right.
goes, it's the cost of being in society. Is the ability is the fact that people can offend you and that is like you're not protected from that, and you shouldn't be protected from that. And who is it that's trying to defend the fact that people shouldn't be offended? Who cares? Whatever happened is sticks and stones. I mean, like, oh my God, what is going on? Why are people
so
following
it
this
goes
narrative?
it goes to the idea
We're
that-
losing people here. Huh?
Yeah, you guys are.
We're becoming very polarized.
I'm not with them.
He's worse.
I am because I'm clueless.
so much worse.
I'm
So-
clueless. Love it.
But
Yeah, that's insane.
It all goes to the fact that
Maybe it's fake.
trust is lost in everything. And it's our job as healthcare providers to teach people enough about their body so that they can trust their own intuition. Because trusting the experts, as long as the experts are being paid by somebody, is a fool's errand.
Yeah.
There's no reason to trust the experts on anything. CDC, NIH. Why would you trust a government official who's incentivized to give you advice that has nothing to do with what's good for you personally, but what's good for?
Are there any good people still out
organization.
there?
Yeah.
But any good people in a position that can actually make powerful
Good people
decisions?
can be corrupted, right? If they're in a position of power, power corrupts, right? And we're giving people absolute power, so it corrupts absolutely. We're sending in every 4-year term, we're sending $20 trillion for a bunch of maniacs in one little city, Washington, D.C., to spend. And they're going to spend it the way they see fit, not
Yeah.
the way people in Utah need it to be spent, or New Mexico, or Texas, or California, or New York. It's what they think, and that's the stupidest system in the world.
It's terrible.
To have 300 million people under the thumb of, I don't know, 1,000 people who are
Well,
making these decisions.
Back in the day, those 300 million people used to be able to put their people in place. Now it seems as if we don't have any control of that, right? I mean,
I don't
people
think
that are being put in place are
they
being put in
may
place
or
by
may
other
not.
people other than the 300 million.
They
no?
may or may not have back then. It was just maybe just not
Oh,
as,
they were better
Now-
at being smoother.
So
Yeah,
then the question
got it.
is, was it ever
yeah, never.
what we think
Ah.
it was?
It never
or
was,
what
but
we
now
were
I feel like
as?
there's more
Exactly right.
transparency now.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think it's always been a scam.
So all they needed to do, as we got more technology, is to be smarter and smoother, and they've actually gotten less smart and less
It's
smooth.
impossible
They
to
don't
hide
care
nowadays,
anymore. They're
yeah.
so brazen about.
That's like,
But forget about the brown bag. Don't even hide the cash in the brown bag.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
do it right in front of it. Just here's the cash.
I just want
Do
like
as I say.
that's this is the thing. This is why I don't watch TVs, because I literally put on whatever the whatever the news is for one side, and I'll put on the news for the other side, and they're both lying, like saying like blatantly. Someone
Do they
one-
believe it's the truth though, or they've just
one
they're
of
just-
them had
No,
like
they don't even believe
no.
it's the truth.
somebody has to be lying,
Right.
right? You can't say complete opposites about something and one of them not lying. Like that's the part I don't
Sometimes
understand.
it's just omitting the obvious on both sides, right? So, like, this whole both sides thing, it's just such bullshit.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Let's just say everything is gray. Some people will look at it as black, and some people will look at it as white.
Whatever it
So
is.
gray
You know,
could
how,
be the
how about
truth,
you
right?
just tell me what's going on and leave your opinion out
Right.
of this? You know?
Right. That I think
that
think
wouldn't sell.
I
know.
imagine if everybody just spoke about what they stood for and not spoke about it against everybody else.
That
Right.
That would just make things so much
Right.
easier,
I
because
don't
then you could choose somebody based on their principles. And like, I'm so tired of hearing people talk bad about other people.
Just talk
you
about
should
yourself.
Just talk about yourself.
That's right.
That's exactly
You
it.
should talk about your core values, your principles, what you stand for, and
that doesn't sell.
and not put other people down.
That
Then it's
doesn't sound-
watchable. But I can't. It's too cringy, and just because I'm just
too
not built
cringy.
like that, it makes me super uncomfortable
Right.
to hear people talk bad.
It
about
actually
other
gives
people.
somebody who doesn't get anxiety.
Yeah,
Right. There's
I
no
don't,
reason.
I
for
don't like the feeling of watching the debates because they talk about each other, and I just think it's not natural. Like, stand up for what you believe in
Right.
and shut up about everybody else.
Just so I
I-
believe I agree with you like 100%. There's nothing that like this is how I believe in my head, but there's got to be other people out there who just they prefer this, right? I mean, otherwise,
I just
why
think-
wouldn't that
No,
sell
no, no.
more than what's
People-
selling right now?
People like drama.
Attention,
They're addicted to it.
eyeballs, clickbait.
That's what I'm saying. But the
That,
clickbait-
that's the model now. Click, you know, if
You got to
mean-
understand, I don't know if you guys, Joe Dispenza, obviously,
Yeah.
Joe Dispenza, right? So
Yeah.
he does his meditations, but he says the majority of people are addicted to the hormones of stress.
that's right.
So once your brain is looking for that hit,
Mhm.
you're always, you ever meet someone who can only talk about problems or only sees something that's unseeable to
Yeah.
me? For example, Lauren's like, I'm going to say the word Porsche 911, right? And you just think of a beautiful car and sexy. Lauren's mom is one of these people who's addicted to the hormones of stress. So she only sees problems and everything. So Lauren's like, I think I'm going to get a Porsche 911. I told you guys.
oh, those engines are no good. The
No,
electric,
it gets better.
Oh.
She goes, why would they name a car after a terrorist attack?
Oh my god!
That's the best.
Right.
Speaking of,
Right.
I have never.
that's a GT.
Is that going to
GT2?
hit
That's
the
a
bottom
G2?
of this driveway? Did you ever test that Lamborghini?
GT3 RS.
Yeah, no, not yet. Soon, no.
This thing has a wing on the
talking
back. That's
That is beautiful.
so. This is
Whose is that?
that's the company that I hooked you up with. This
Oh.
is in my parking lot.
Oh, that's nice.
That one, and then there's this one
You
Yeah,
got to go to my friend's place.
next week.
yeah, that is nice. So that's
You
what I'm
like that
saying.
song?
So that's what that
Why
Yeah,
was.
would
I
they
got it, I got it.
name a
A car
car
after the.
after
terrorist
a
attack.
terrorist attack?
Right. And me and Lauren turned to each other and we're like,
You couldn't.
we've
even believe-
never even crossed
I
my
never even
mind.
thought of
So
that.
now Lauren's like, thanks, Mom. You just ruined my fucking car.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's not going to be able to buy that.
Now every time I
That's
think
gonna
of my
upset
car,
that.
right,
You
can't
can't
unsee it.
unsee it.
Right. But that's where her mind goes,
Right.
directly to that. Or like when we're going out to Montauk and there's and we're going out there this weekend and she's like, and we're like, oh, I can't wait to be out there near the beach. It's beautiful and everything. She's like, well, there's only one road in and one road out. There's
What
going to be
if-
rain.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, who brought this bitch? Like, Jesus
Oh my-
Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
like she's so addicted to the news and stress, and she's constantly looking
That's
at
the addict. So it's
90% of the people are looking for that hit.
Right.
Oh my
You know what I mean?
God.
That dopamine, stress, cortisol
So,
response.
but
So, they
this is the
own-
problem right
they're
now. So you
addicted
say
to it.
something like that, and now I can't unhear it. And now
Right.
every single person that talks out there, I'm going to listen to them.
that, but you
you're,
should.
you're affecting me.
You should
know, it's
learn
funny.
to hear people's words. You
It's
have
funny.
to. That's
So-
how you get to the next level.
So, but then you say, all right, there's some like I always wanted to know what was going on in the world. I always wanted my father was, he was a Greek immigrant, and he talked about how great he was in school, like he was the best student ever, right? But he just went to high school. He's like, I'm like, well, Dad, what was your big subject? Math, literature, philosophy, geography. And he knew like every capital of every country. He knew how to say a few words in so many languages. And
He's getting in
you get
trouble.
in trouble.
Not yet. We got a couple
You'll
minutes.
make it up there. It's a beautiful day. It's gonna be a
Which
great
way?
ride.
Time out. Don't interrupt me. Which way are you going?
Straight up the throughway.
Straight up.
There's only one way to go.
Lake
George.
George.
We're going to Saratoga.
87.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's a turned over tractor trailer on the Tappan Zee Bridge right now.
Oh, you're not.
It was.
Gonna go
Well, how'd you know that? You don't
Right,
listen to the
that's
news.
right.
Oh, my office manager said, "Don't take the highway
Yeah.
because you'll be late."
The fact is,
There you go.
that
sorry.
actually probably helps me, right? Which way is it going? Just not
towards
such an
Tarrytown, towards
asshole.
Westchester.
That doesn't help. me
It's a
lot.
good thing that it's on the Tappan Zee and not the Mario
Mario
Cuomo
Cuomo.
Right,
bridge.
because that's not a bridge.
Yeah.
That's not a bridge where I live.
It's the Tappan Zee. It's the
Tappan Zee.
Triborough.
Right.
It's the, why are they trying to change the names
59th
of
Street
things?
Bridge, the 59th Street
Right,
Bridge.
right.
Why
are
Brooklyn
you
Barry
trying to
trying-
hold on to the past? Why are you trying to
I'm a
hold on to the
traditionalist.
past?
I'm a traditionalist. Shh, we got this little ugly thing on here. Can you see it? That makes me unhappy.
What is
Deep.
What is that?
Where are you?
What is
There's
it?
something on the computer that came up. I don't know. HP. HP wants to get
Close it out.
advertising. Yeah, I have to
No,
stand
no, no.
up.
It's a security thing.
No, yeah, but it.
It's on touchscreen. You should have got touchscreen.
I didn't want to do that.
Why didn't you get touchscreen?
That would have been smart.
Because then you
Listen,
could have
Oh,
tapped
yeah,
this.
that
and
would
right?
be cool.
That
That would
would've been-
draw with your finger.
like
on
smart
the,
boards. This is.
Yeah.
They make those. You
It's
see
funny
those?
that of course they make those. My mother,
Dude.
right, who's
Lisa Marie's husband, her software company, the conference room we were at, it's got this gigantic 95-inch. It's a TV. It's a
Smart.
monitor.
Yeah,
it's
they
a
have
smartboard,
everything.
drawing,
By the way,
it's a
every
whole thing.
school
It's fucking
in New
awesome.
York,
There's
my
a
mother
camera,
teaches-
There's a camera that comes out of it.
My
Yeah.
mother teaches in Tarrytown. She uses that. That's her board. Like, when we were just messing around. I was talking about the chalk on the
Yeah.
board, and then it went to like dry erase boards, and now it went to computers, and now it's like a touch screen type of thing.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, she could do that and navigate that, and then she goes home and she doesn't know how to turn on her fucking laptop.
I
Like,
love
what
it.
do you like?
I
It's
love
one thing I know. My mother's a little bit older, right? So her birthday's next week or a week and a half.
it. Nice.
And
Happy birthday.
she may or may not be getting towards 80, and
Sweet.
but she's still working. Like it's one thing if you weren't working and you just didn't get up with the technology, but you're
Right.
using the highest technology in your school. You don't know how to fucking turn on your computer.
You should have got
Dude,
touchscreen.
sometime in 1992,
I'm leaving here.
by
Maybe you should.
This
sometime in
podcast.
1992, they invented. I don't know if it was 92 or 89 or whenever. Sometime in that period.
You know he's making this shit
They,
up.
no, no. They invented
89 or
fucking
92.
call the. What is it even?
The
called?
cell phone, the car phone?
Call wait.
Or-
No, not call
Oh.
waiting. What was it called when the phone would make a noise?
Yes,
Somebody
call
was
waiting.
calling, and then you
Tapped
click-
it.
Click over, yeah, call
Right.
waiting.
that was technology my father couldn't handle. He's like, the phone's making a noise.
It's funny that you
The
said
phone's
that.
making a
When was the
noise.
last time you heard a busy signal?
Never.
My mother still has it. Doesn't have call waiting. Call my mother if anybody wants to know,
Still has
because these
call
kids
waiting.
don't have any idea what a busy signal sounds
Yeah.
like. Call my mother.
Because she still has a landline.
She still has a landline,
Oh.
and she
Yeah.
does not have call waiting.
So-
I don't even know. You have to actually opt
Out
that
of
because there's
call
not even a
waiting. My
possibility.
aunt has that.
It's
My-
ridiculous. You
my
can get a
aunt-
busy
I love
signal.
My aunt has that. And like 7 years ago, their answering machine broke.
Uh
So
oh.
now you can't even leave a
message. Yeah. No, my mother has voicemail
And-
now,
yeah.
but we still have an answering machine next to the
Yeah.
phone.
Like they would have
With
to
the tape, with
rewind
the little
tape.
cassette
You have to
tapes.
rewind the tape to
Yeah.
erase it.
Anyway,
That's
All
so
right.
fun.
I got to go to Lake George. Who's got to go anywhere? Where are you going?
I'm ready to go.
You got to go.
I got to
teach.
go to work.
Look at him. By the way, people are going to think because this is the second pod. We look nice all the time.
I do.
What's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
with the
Don't
collar
don't
and
fuck this
short
up.
hair.
I have
Stop
to go
fucking
to
this
work.
up.
He's messing it up. It's
Next
not
time.
Friday.
True.
He's messing it up.
Do we have to change this from Fridays?
No. Just August. It's just
So
this-
2 more
Well, it sounds
times.
like you're going to be gone for the next couple of weeks anyway.
No. That's what I mean for the next couple of weeks. So August.
Oh, so you'll be around on Wednesday, but not around
Yeah.
on Friday. Can you do Wednesday, or
Yeah,
are you
that's
going to
fine.
look like an idiot like this, or what?
Yes. Well, next time I'm going to wear my shirt with my logo on.
Yeah,
it.
but on Fridays
That's
you wear
fine.
that sometimes.
Oh, we'll have to teach on
Yeah.
Fridays. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have to do that anymore.
It's not like we're wearing fucking suits.
Yeah, I'm going to wear a suit.
You know, I wore a fucking tie.
I'm going to go tuxedos.
I wore a tie every day to my practice. Only days I wouldn't wear a tie was on Saturdays.
Nice.
I'm so glad I don't do that.
I
anymore.
wore a tie when I first started. He's still busting my balls about the lab coat,
My-
but
my-
I used to wear a tie.
Guy
and a
wears the
coat.
lab coat.
Wait, can I tell you
Yeah,
why?
that-
This will be the last story.
No,
No,
let
I don't want to
Steve.
hear it because
Steve.
it's just an excuse.
Yeah,
There's
You're right.
reason
Steve,
to be
tell him.
wearing
I don't
lab
wear
coat.
a
There's
lab coat.
no reason whatsoever.
Can
to
I
wear
tell
a
you
lab
there
coat.
is a reason?
No,
There's
it can't
no
be.
I
reason.
do.
We're
so
gonna
I'm,
tear you
I'm
up.
doing ART, and their feet are being put onto
So
my,
what?
on my thing. So I put on my lab coat so I
Steve.
don't mess up my
Then
clothes.
put on a
What?
a zip up fucking
Hoodie.
dentist jacket or whatever.
What's the difference between a dentist jacket and a lab coat?
Because
I'm just something to protect my
no,
pants.
because the lab coat is trying to convey
Oh, I
something
got it.
that gives you.
What's your take on scrubs?
authority. Scrubs. I mean, I think it's great for staff to not have to worry about what they have to wear to work each day. So it's
Fine, but like for
Scrubs is
example,
great.
the way
Look,
I
if
practice
you're a
is
physical
very
therapist,
physically demanding.
yeah.
But the way I practice,
It's very similar to that. No,
right? But here
totally
I
get
am.
that.
Most of my office staff will wear Dockers and like a polo or something
Mhm.
like that. I don't. I wear dress clothes.
Right.
I'm old
The
school like
thing
that.
with
I
the
like
white,
wearing dress clothes.
the lab coat and the scrubs has this
Medical.
medical connotation that you're trying to leverage for authority in your community that you don't necessarily need, because if you do great work, which you do, then you have all the authority you need.
right.
It should be the opposite of a lab coat. You should
And
be.
by the
lab coat
way,
should
the
be eating
trust
dick.
in
wear a
that
tank top? What do you want me
system-
to, what the
No,
fuck you want
you
me to
should
wear?
just wear like a nice shirt with your name on it, and I don't know. I don't
The
like.
scrub companies are all making shirts like that with scrub type pants, again, so you don't have to think about your wardrobe,
Right.
but it's still professional looking and not conveying some medical authority.
All right.
That's what you
Again,
want.
that authority is going out the fucking window.
Yeah. Well, that's I mean, it deserves to go out the window. If you think about it,
Absolutely.
right?
Well, you
So-
got to be part of the change.
all right. When are we doing this
Be part of
next?
the change.
Wednesday,
Next Wednesday?
Wednesday,
Yeah,
7:15.
just for August. And
We
then
could
we'll
do
go
it.
back
I
to
mean,
Fridays.
I can be here earlier if we wanted more time.
He can't.
I need
Well,
to
yeah, because he's got
go.
to brew coffee.
Right. Then,
Ah!
or bring it.
I need training. When
I'm gonna
Kelly
show
gets
you.
trained.
Tell me when I'm trained.
You're
Oh,
not trained.
you want to know how to use this? It was online.
I want to know.
Unplug it and
I
plug
want
it
to
back
know
in.
how. I want to know how to have one camera on me and
Right on this wall, right over here. You just walk around it.
how to have one camera on me and one camera.
There is only one camera for now. We're going to get a second camera.
No. I mean,
Oh, you want this?
like if I can have that going on at the same time, and I can draw on my iPad and do like little classroom shit.
And stream.
HP Wolfskin.